And I don't know. I don't know how long this review is going to be, man. It's 12:30. And I literally sat here for a half an hour contemplating what I wanted to say. I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you guys a review that you want. I certainly will try. You know, I don't know how loud I could get with you guys tonight with the neighbors upstairs. I don't want to wake anybody up. I was ultimately going to just say fuck it and wait till tomorrow morning when I had a little bit more freedom. And a little bit more of a clearer head, because typically I go back and kind of reassess everything here and there that I want to talk about, and I rewatch certain things and see if I pick up on something that I might have missed watching live or when I had my head down tweeting. But I want to say, for as long as I'm going to be doing this, I want you guys to understand one thing when it comes to WrestleMania. It is merely nothing but hype. It really is nothing but hype. I want you to picture yourself as a Ghostbuster. Seriously, picture yourself as Egon from the Ghostbusters. You know those little ghost traps that they throw down when they're zapping the fucking ghost, right? You know, Egon's throwing the fucking trap down, he pulls out the fucking, you know, the zapper, and he's got the fucking ghost wrangled, right? He's fucking trying to get the thing in the box. That's WrestleMania. This is a visual of WrestleMania as they fucking put the trap down. You see, what WWE is doing is they're wrangling you to get you in WrestleMania's gate. And then when they got you, they're able to feed you whatever they want. They don't care. They have your money. They have your money. Grandeur and spectacles and moments and defining career memories, whatever. It's all bullshit. It's all a way for WWE to use pretty words to brainwash you into buying into something that everybody is programmed to think is going to be the greatest night of the year when it comes to professional wrestling. Meanwhile, what we watched on Saturday night blew everything we seen tonight for 7.5 hours out of the fucking water. Sorry, Vince. It may be time to hang up the suit. NXT TakeOver New Orleans is the benchmark for how shows should be done. NXT is the benchmark for how creative should be operating. I will not state otherwise. Call me a fanboy, call me a smart mark, call me a clown, call me some basement-dwelling virgin who talks WWE on YouTube, whatever. I don't care. WrestleMania 34 was sheer, utter embarrassment. It's exactly what it was. I would not say this is the worst WrestleMania of all time, because it's got some pretty stiff competition. That one goes to WrestleMania 32. But WrestleMania 34 started off with so much promise. And they had me for 1 hour, they had me. 1 hour of the 5.5. I'm like, wow, guys, we might get a great WrestleMania. And then all of a sudden, as if you're standing on top of a fucking snowy mountaintop, and the snow starts to melt, and there's a fucking avalanche just happening right underneath your feet. And then you look down off the mountaintop and you see a neighboring town that's just sitting below the fucking mountaintop, and you're just standing there watching the avalanche just fucking crush everything in its path and destroy the entire fucking town down below. Mass casualties. That was WrestleMania at 9 o'clock. By the time we hit 9 o'clock, WrestleMania was headed towards avalanche-type fucking status. Vince McMahon should be embarrassed, man. I'm sorry. Vince McMahon should be completely fucking embarrassed. I'll say it once and I'll say it again, man. You know, they do it for Roman. It was quite evident. It was quite evident that this entire WrestleMania was built around Roman Reigns and to push Roman Reigns as the guy. Everything that they did was carefully constructed to push Roman Reigns and the Roman Reigns initiative. And that was very evident by the time Nakamura and AJ Styles was over with. There's no reason you're going to put Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania in a WWE Championship match and have it be anything less than a 4.5-star, 30-minute fucking classic. What did we get tonight? We got two men who I looked at who didn't break out of the first gear. Why? Because I think Vince sabotaged this match. I honestly think Vince sabotaged this entire fucking event for the main event of WrestleMania 34. Those two guys didn't get out of first gear. They didn't. I don't understand how you can put this match for the first time ever on your show and have it be that underwhelming. And the reason why he did that is because everybody with a brain knew that if AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura did what they normally do, and that's perform at a high level, that it would blow away Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in the main event. They were suppressed, people, and you are not going to convince me otherwise. They put that match on at that time slot right before the Tag Team Championship match. What does that tell you? Look at what we got with the Tag Team Championship match, and then we got the Universal Championship match. What type of placement was that for Nakamura and AJ Styles? That was a terrible fucking spot for both of those guys to be in. Vince McMahon sabotaged that match for the sake of the Universal Championship because he knew Styles and Nakamura were going to tear the house down, and he did not allow them to. And you will not tell me that I am wrong, because more than likely that is exactly what happened. And that's the way it came off to me. Vince should be embarrassed. Vince should be embarrassed. I don't know how anybody in WWE management can look at that main event tonight with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and be pleased with what they've seen or heard. This is the time of the year where your fan base is at its most rabid. These are the diehards. These are the lifers. These are the people that will willingly give you your money, or give you their money, rather. They will willingly give you their money to sit in that arena every single year for what you serve up. If you listen to those people at the end of that match, how could you sit there and be pleased with what you heard? Tonight could be a defining change for WWE. It honestly could be. Will it? I doubt it. But if Vince McMahon is smart and he has fucking ears, it will be a career, it will be a company-wide change initiative going forward. And a career change for Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Vince should be embarrassed that in his main event that he worked so hard for, that people were playing beach ball in the crowd and having more fun than watching your main event. Your main event that you put every fucking blood, sweat, and tear into. Beach balls that were illegally banned from New Orleans, period. Somehow beach ball mania seemed to rear its ugly head again. People were playing beach ball during the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns Universal Championship match. This is boring chants rang out within 5 minutes of this match. CM Punk chants rang out in New Orleans during Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. This isn't Chicago anymore, man. You can't blame it on Chicago. It's because people rather be seeing CM Punk in the ring The guy that they wanted for years, instead of this fucking company man, manufactured piece of garbage named Roman Reigns. Here's the kicker. By the time Roman Reigns took his 7th F5, people were chanting, "This is awful." You said it, New Orleans. I didn't. WWE went to the utmost extreme lengths to make sure you know that Roman is their man. I don't believe how they have the balls to sit there and smile from ear to ear and think that what they did tonight was good. This was the most pathetic attempt of any man for him to get over with a company that has been so vehemently just fucking disliked I have ever seen. Vince, Roman's not wanted. Tonight was the fucking nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin. 7 F5s, legit elbows that busted him up. Suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex. He went through the table, he went through the barricade, and he kicked out of everything. If people don't appreciate Roman Reigns coming back after all of that and still have the fucking energy to chant, "This is awful," what the fuck are you doing? What are you trying to prove? When will you look yourself in the mirror and explain to everybody, "Guys, for 4 years, I failed"? Sorry, Roman, we're moving on to someone else. Whether that someone else is Daniel Bryan once again, whether that someone else is someone in NXT, or whether that someone else is fucking Kenny Omega when his New Japan Pro Wrestling contract is up in 2019. I don't know. I don't know. But Vince McMahon, at the end of WrestleMania 34, should be utterly fucking embarrassed for his company. Utterly embarrassed. And shame on you people for going there. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to blame half of you people. You went there because you wanted to. But I'm glad the people who spoke up during the main event did exactly what they needed to do. Let their feelings be known. The crowd, for the most part, was awesome tonight. But you won't catch me dead at a WrestleMania event ever. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit what type of memories and moments and fucking life-altering experiences you guys have at WrestleMania. I would never give this man my money to see this type of fucking embarrassing garbage. Trash. Absolute trash. So what did we learn tonight, people? What did we learn tonight? WrestleMania 34 was not the worst WrestleMania of all time, but it was absolutely the most disappointing fucking show that WWE has ever put on. I've never seen a show that had so much promise in my entire life bomb and fail by the end of this thing when it was all said and done. Completely fucking garbage. Garbage. WrestleMania 32 was the worst WrestleMania I think I've ever seen on top. Actually, you know what? People say WrestleMania 9 was bad too. You know, I actually enjoyed WrestleMania 9 more so than I did WrestleMania 32. I really did. But WrestleMania 32 had one of the worst main events of all time. You guys know how I critically just shit all over Brock Lesnar and, or not Brock Lesnar, Triple H and Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns tonight. I think they take the cake. I really do. And it's not because both guys underperformed. It's just because underneath it all, it tried to do one thing and it failed miserably at it. And nobody believed what WWE was trying to do. Because they're pushing a guy that nobody genuinely believes in. You know, you could believe in Roman Reigns all you want. I don't give a fuck if you hate me, you love me, you want to watch me, you want to continue to fucking troll me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. Roman Reigns is not genuinely liked by anybody. They're pushing the wrong guy. And if you can't see that after tonight, I don't think you should be watching this product at all. You shouldn't have a podcast. You shouldn't be listening to podcasts. You should be watching wrestling, let alone WWE. Most disappointing WrestleMania of all time, people. Not the worst, but the most disappointing WrestleMania in which we've seen Vince McMahon pretty much sabotage his entire event for his own initiative and his own agenda. That was WrestleMania 34. Now we got WrestleMania 35 coming to New York. Are we expecting anything better? Nah. I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to continue doing what I do best, and WrestleMania will be the last thing on my mind. NXT TakeOver and what they did with NXT TakeOver New Orleans, I'll say it again after I said it several times last night, is the new benchmark for WWE. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Call me a fanboy, call me a smart mark, call me whatever name you want on social media. I don't give a shit. NXT TakeOver is the new benchmark for WWE pay-per-views. Every single time there is a takeover accompanying a major WWE Big 5 pay-per-view, they are the benchmark for what needs to be done. And it's a shame that WWE has their minor league system. It's a shame that WWE has their developmental system outperforming them in every sense of the word. I don't give a shit if you're an analyst. I don't give a shit how long you've been in the business, reporting on WWE. I don't give a shit about your career accolades. NXT TakeOver is the new benchmark for what WWE should be doing. Why they are not on board yet with what Triple H is doing and incorporating some of that on the main roster is fucking killing the main roster product. I don't give a shit how much money you're making. You're going to make your money. You're going to make your money. But at the same time, you're going to give people what they want. Good fucking television. NXT TakeOver New Orleans blew away WrestleMania. Ladder match itself, 45 minutes of the ladder match for the North American Championship was better than anything on this program tonight. No question. No question. Adam Cole's big night with Undisputed Era was more of a WrestleMania moment than anything on this show. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa was more of a WrestleMania moment to me than anything on this show. Vince McMahon killed his own event, and he made WrestleMania what looked to be so fucking great on paper a sheer and utter disappointment. That's all I'm going to say on that, man. Those are my thoughts on WrestleMania. You want to know what I think about everything that they did tonight? I know you guys want me to talk about Asuka, and you guys want me to talk about the tag team title situation, and you guys want me to talk about Nakamura's heel turn. I know you want to hear it all. I know. I don't even know where to begin, man. Let's start with the pre-show, I guess. Let's start with the pre-show. The 5th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I did watch the pre-show. Normally I don't, but I was sitting on my couch, daylight still out, on my second Guinness, and the 5th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was taking place. First of all, before we even talk about the Battle Royal, I loved this year's WrestleMania set. I thought it was awesome. A lot of people were telling me they think it's too girly, but I think it played beautifully into the scheme of New Orleans. And then when the WWE had each performer come out through gorilla position and they walked down the ramp, their Titantron kind of filled the entire mask, which looked very good. I thought it was great. WWE always goes above and beyond for their WrestleMania sets. And some of the entrances tonight, which we'll talk about, were fantastic. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, man. This one was won by Woken Matt Hardy. And it came down to Corbin, Matt, and Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley eliminated Zack Ryder in this match in quite brutal fashion. I expected Elias to be in there. I was wondering where Elias was. Someone told me, I think I seen it on Twitter, that Elias was named for the Battle Royal. They must have taken him out as a late change, and I actually chose him to win the whole fucking thing, but he wasn't there. My next choice was Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger actually stayed towards the very end, but he ended up getting deleted. He had a nice little segment with Matt Hardy where they were going back and forth. Matt was like, "Who are you?" And Ty Dillinger did 10. And then Matt was like, "Delete, 10, delete, 10. And then Ty Dillinger was eventually deleted because he got thrown over the top rope. Dolph Ziggler was the one man who barely spent any time in the ring. He was flip-flopping around on the fucking ropes trying not to be eliminated. But we're down to Corbin, Matt, and Mojo Rawley. Fans are chanting delete. They're facing off. Matt unloads headbutts on Corbin. So there's a double team here on Matt Hardy. Mojo launches Matt hard into the mat. Corbin then approaches Matt, and Mojo is just sitting back watching him. They double team Matt now. The lights then go out all of a sudden. The arena goes completely dark, and then the lights come back on. And Bray Wyatt, looking like Texas Chainsaw Massacre with some fucking bloody apron, standing in the middle of the ring. Now, he wasn't even announced for the Battle Royal. Now, I was wondering, one of the things I was wondering about was how are you going to incorporate Bray Wyatt into WrestleMania? Are you going to keep him off the show completely? Are they really selling the fact that he was dipped into the lake of reincarnation? Is he going to come back as something new? Is he going to come back as a babyface? That's exactly what happened. Woken Wyatt, or Brother Bray, whatever they're calling him now. I don't know what the fuck they're calling him. But it was a very, very interesting sight indeed. Bray Wyatt is in the ring, and he assists Matt Hardy in eliminating Mojo Rawley. Corbin then delivers a devastating end of days on Bray Wyatt. And Corbin grabs Matt. Matt fights him off, and Matt eliminates him. Wyatt is still down on the mat as Matt looks on. The bell rings, and they announce Matt Hardy as the winner of the 5th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And at the end of this thing, this was actually one of the genuine, true WrestleMania moments tonight, which I actually really enjoyed. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy embraced in the middle of the ring. Bray Wyatt got on his knees and did his follow the buzzards pose. Matt Hardy, standing behind him, did his woken stance. Wonderful. And they looked great together. They looked fantastic together. Bray Wyatt's a babyface now. You don't know how good this could be for Bray Wyatt. We've all asked for Bray Wyatt to be positioned in a more prominent role. We've all asked for Bray Wyatt to kind of shed his old skin because the way he debuted coming up from NXT, it kind of changed over the years. He became a real, genuine cult leader, and then he kind of strayed away from that, and he became a resident jobber. He was a glorified jobber. He was an enhancement talent on Monday Night Raw. The guy did nothing. To see Bray Wyatt with Matt Hardy not only gives me hope that Bray and his career is going to be resurrected, but the tag team that this team could be is very interesting. And both could still serve as singles wrestlers. They have a great look together, but it's also a team that could go on their own separately and do what they got to do. They could be a very formidable tag team if WWE allows them to. But the main thing we need to focus on here is getting Bray as far away from that old gimmick that he had and that heel persona that nobody really believed in. Get him aligned with Matt. People are going to start believing in Bray sooner rather than later, and it's going to feed into Bray Wyatt becoming a better version of himself. And I can't wait to see what they do together. This is a very interesting combination, and I'm very excited to see. Matt Hardy wins the 5th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with help from Brother Bray Wyatt. Cruiserweight Championship, Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. This is the finals of the vacant Cruiserweight Championship tournament. This was a damn good match, man. This was a damn good match. Before the match even got started, Mustafa Ali's entrance was fucking sick, man. I loved it. I don't know what kind of, feel he was going for here, but the first thing that reminded me of Mustafa Ali coming down the aisle at WrestleMania was Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. He had a light-up mask. It looked like it had glowing jewels on it, or lights, very reminiscent to Chris Jericho's jacket. He had this thing on his hand that kind of like blew smoke. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but it looked like Sub-Zero battling, someone in Mortal Kombat as he's trying to fucking freeze them. That's what it reminded me of. Either way, it looked great. The match itself was awesome. And it was nice to see that most of the crowd was filed in at this time when this match took place. So they did wrestle in front of several thousand people. So I'm happy to see that. But again, the fans really didn't openly embrace what was going on until the very end. And I'm going to say it again. The kickoff for WrestleMania is not WrestleMania. It's not. And the one thing that I was thinking of during tonight's show was these two went out there and tore the house down. But yet WWE wants to go to commercial break in the middle of a championship match for a vacated title that hasn't had an owner since December. Like, I don't know who made that call. Why are you giving me promo packages for Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in the middle of this match? I don't care. That's what the panel and the pre-show is for. That's what they did when they started the pre-show. I don't want to see commercials during a championship match. So for those people that say, yeah, it makes no difference. The kickoff show is WrestleMania. No, it's not. The kickoff show is not WrestleMania. For that simple fact alone. This match was fantastic. And I loved the fact that these guys and their excitement kind of just came right through the television. You seen the excitement on Cedric Alexander. You seen the excitement on Mustafa Ali. Their first WrestleMania. And Cedric Alexander was audible. You heard him. Let's do this. Let's show them. And that's exactly what they did, man. Cedric Alexander goes for the lumbar check. Towards the end, Ali returns and reverses it. Ali with a big tornado DDT out of the corner, man. There were some scary spots here delivered to Cedric Alexander. Either that or he's a fantastic seller, man. He sold brilliantly for Mustafa Ali during certain parts in this match. There was a reverse Rana that landed right on his fucking neck. That tornado DDT was Rob Van Dam-like, planted him right on the top of his head. Cedric lands under the turnbuckles. Ali goes to the top and hits the 054. And Cedric Alexander gets his foot on the bottom rope. Ali goes back to the top, but lands hard this time. Cedric makes a comeback, hits several moves, including back elbows. Cedric then hits the lumbar check, and it was over for the win. Cedric Alexander is your new cruiserweight champion. And then they just pretty much cut right to the pre-show panel without showing any celebration, with Cedric Alexander. I wanted to see more of what Cedric Alexander was feeling after he won the Cruiserweight Championship. We had Drake Maverick come in the ring. He presented the title. They embraced. And after Cedric Alexander hit the lumbar check, after the pin, he hugged Mustafa Ali, who was laying on his back flat, and he hugged his head, and he was saying words of endearment. We really didn't hear what he was saying, but you know that they were both proud of what they did in the ring tonight. Very good match, man. Actually, one of the better matches on the entire show for WrestleMania 34. Cedric Alexander, finally from the Cruiserweight Classic, man, coming out of that tournament, was the man. He was the chosen one. He was the one guy that everybody wanted Triple H to sign coming out of that tournament. And then Vince McMahon got his hands on the Cruiserweights and killed every momentum that they had coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic. Cedric Alexander floundered, doing nothing. Had to sit back and watch fucking Enzo Amore win the Cruiserweight Championship. The entire show was in doubt. Triple H takes over. Cedric Alexander is right where he should have been 18 months later. New Cruiserweight Champion. The inaugural Women's Battle Royal, man. I actually did enjoy this match. It was pointless. It was every bit of fucking pointless. Believe me. But I actually enjoyed this. I thought this was a very, very entertaining match. Now, I actually said on Twitter that I actually enjoyed it more so than the Royal Rumble. I might have been stretching that a little bit, but this entire Battle Royal was clearly built around Sasha Banks and Bayley. It was used to further their feud. We had some NXT talent in there. We had Peyton Royce, and we had Kairi Sane, and we had Dakota Kai, and we had my girl Bianca Belair was in there. We had that Indian woman, Kavita Devi, the one that was trained by the great Khali. Unfortunate for her, in the Battle Royal. Tainara Conti was there. Who else was there? I think that was it as far as NXT goes. But they had a nice little portion of this match where they were pretty much owning it. They had a nice little portion of the match where they were just by themselves, all four, or how many were there? There was Peyton Royce, Kavita Devi, Tainara Conti, Dakota Kai, Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane. There were 6 of them standing in the middle of the ring, and they started an NXT chant. NXT, NXT, and people went along with it, They wanted to assert their dominance in the Battle Royal. That really didn't last very long here. But, the NXT talent did get some time to shine. There was a moment in the match where Dakota Kai started just sending out haluva kicks all over the fucking place. Team kick all over the place. Kavita Devi was showcased. But I don't know who she slammed. I think she slammed Natalya. Or she went after Natalya. We had Kairi Sane drop the big elbow off the top rope. Bianca Belair did a fucking shooting star press. Or what was it? Was it a shooting star press or what was it? A 450 splash. She did a 450 splash off the top rope. When I tell you Bianca Belair is going to be a fucking stud in the NXT women's division, believe me, this is her year, man. She was one of my absolute favorite things coming out of the Mae Young Classic, and I hope to see her back in there again, and she's going to be a integral part of the women's division in NXT, man. If you don't know who Bianca Belair is, you will soon enough. She had a nice spot as well, I think, on Becky Lynch, where she did get the hair whip on Becky Lynch, and it rang out through the Silver Dome. No, Super Dome. Yeah, I fucking like Hulk Hogan over here. That's how fucking tired I am. Making Hulk Hogan fucking blunders. The Superdome in New Orleans. She got the hair whip on Becky Lynch, and it rang out through the entire arena. I love that, man. It's just so different, and it just sounds fucking vicious, and it sounds beautiful. I love it. At the end of this thing, we had the Riot Squad, assert their dominance. So Natalya double suplex on Ruby Riott and KFC Logan. No, she didn't have a portion of mashed potatoes in her hand. I wish I did. From Titus Catering. I wonder what Titus Catering was serving up for the big WrestleMania night, man. I wonder if he went all out. I gotta find out. I hope I have some inside sources that will tell me what Titus Catering was serving on WrestleMania 34 night. Sasha and Bayley team up to eliminate Natty, and then Liv, and then Ruby. Logan then attacks Sasha Banks from behind and fights off Bayley. Logan brawls with Sasha Banks. Sasha stays on the apron. Bayley runs over and knocks Logan off, eliminating her. Sasha and Bayley stare at each other. And it looks like it's going to be them two. Fans pop, they go crazy. And the pop that they got was yes chants. People were yes chanting. This was the last match during the pre-show, and people fucking yes chanting for a battle royal in which they thought Sasha Banks and Bayley were the last two. At this point, I'm saying to myself, well, there you go. Even more of a reason why this should have been the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. No, we got Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax looking like fucking Mantar. We'll talk about it. But Bayley is there with Sasha. Fans are going crazy. Bayley almost falls for a handshake, but she eliminates Sasha Banks instead. So Bayley says, fuck you, Sasha Banks. Sasha trying to get one over on Bayley. Bayley eliminates Sasha Banks, and she stands tall thinking she won the Battle Royal. I thought she won the Battle Royal. Everybody thought she won the Battle Royal. But Naomi pulling a Jerry the King Lawler, sleeping on the outside for half of the match. She comes back in. She was never eliminated. Naomi hits Bayley with the rear view. I'm sure a lot of you guys would like to get hit with the rear view from Naomi. And she goes on to eliminate Bayley, and she wins the Battle Royal. Very surprising. I didn't expect Naomi to win it, man. I either expected not Nia Jax, Bayley or Sasha Banks to win the Battle Royal, being that their entire feud is centered around this Battle Royal and was pretty much them. They were given a spotlight. This was made for them, and Naomi ends up winning it. I don't know what the fuck it's going to do for Naomi, but Naomi wins the match. How many people chose Naomi in the Wrestle Rumble pool? I don't know. I didn't. I chose Bayley. I chose Bayley like everybody else I'm sure did. If you chose Naomi, I have to wonder that you got some inside fucking scoops, because nobody chose Naomi to win this match. And that was the pre-show, man. That was the pre-show. The main show started off with Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins came down. He looked like Mortal Kombat himself. He looked like Reptile from Mortal Kombat. I loved his entrance tonight. He came out first. Miz came out looking sharp as ever, and I appreciate you, Miz. I really, really do. On this night, you did it right. You sent Axel and you sent Dallas to the back. Good on you, bro. That's what I like to see from an Intercontinental Champion. And he even said it when he walked down the aisle. Go back. I got this. It's going to be me, Rollins, and that other guy. Good. Good on you. That's what I want to see out of an Intercontinental Champion. This next part is where people started to jumped down my throat on Twitter, man. And I don't know why. I benched anybody who made assumptions. Now, I have nothing against the gay and lesbian community at all. At all. I have worked very, closely as managers, with several people who, are in the gay and lesbian community in my time in retail. Had a pleasant time. They were fucking fantastic. They treated me good. But the fact that Finn Balor is representing the gay and lesbian community is not my problem. It's not my problem here. A lot of people misconstrued my tweets. And, they tried to attack me saying, oh, JD hates, the gay and lesbian community now. You got something to get against the gay and lesbians. No, I don't. And if you assumed anything like that, you were benched. You were benched. People don't seem to understand, and I own up to my mistakes, okay? I mentioned on Twitter that, I haven't seen Finn Balor come out as the Demon in over a year, okay? It slipped my mind that he came out as the Demon for TLC against AJ Styles. I genuinely forgot that. So I own up to that mistake, okay? When was the last time we seen the Demon before that? When was the last time we seen the Demon before that? We didn't. I don't think we did see the Demon all year. With WrestleMania, this is the biggest event of the year. This is the biggest event of WWE's year. No matter how much it fucking blows or if it fucking hits a grand slam. It's the biggest show of the year. Everybody gets these lavish entrances, right? These big time entrances. You got Finn Balor, who has this character as the Demon in New Orleans, which is notoriously named one of the most haunted cities in the entire world. Yet you don't have Finn Balor come out in one of the most haunted cities in the entire world at WrestleMania as his greatest character, as the best version of himself. If you wanted Finn Balor to represent the gay and lesbian community, fine. He could have represented the gay and lesbian community as the Demon, with rainbow colors as the Demon. I don't understand why WWE, didn't give us the Demon at WrestleMania with that entrance in front of 80,000 fucking people. This is his first WrestleMania, and you're not giving us the Demon? And then people have the balls to tell me the storyline doesn't call for it. What the fuck does the storyline have to do with summoning the Demon? When did Finn Balor ever need a storyline in NXT to summon and come out with the Demon? Did he need the Demon for Samoa Joe? Did he need the Demon when he was fucking Jack the Ripper at NXT TakeOver London? Did he need to come out as the Demon Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they were in Dallas? Please answer me. Legitimately answer me. Did he need to be the Demon against AJ Styles? I don't think so. So what does the storyline of this match have to do with anything about Finn Balor being the Demon? It's fucking WrestleMania. And the fact that you didn't give us the Demon? That is a huge blunder on WWE's behalf. And I'm sorry. I stand by that. You want Balor to represent the gay and lesbian community? Fine. Instead of having to come out in an ugly looking fucking t-shirt with rainbow knee pads, you could have did the same thing and incorporated that into the Demon character. Ridiculous. Blunder number one at WrestleMania, right out of the gate. The match itself was fucking awesome. Out of all the main roster matches that they could have chosen to be the first match, this was perfect. And it makes me wonder now, Justin LaBar, my buddy Justin LaBar was saying for weeks, he thinks Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles should open the show. Looking back on what we've seen tonight, he might have been right on that. With the spot that they were given, they might have benefited even greatly. More so than this match to open the show. Because they barely got a reaction from anybody. And I don't know if that is due to people being exhausted or the fact that the match didn't really get into that next gear. It's a mixture of both. But if you were to choose another match on the show to open WrestleMania, this was the perfect one. These guys work very well together, man. Very, very well together. Seth Rollins is your new Intercontinental Champion. Balor, at the end of this thing, kicks Miz in the head from the apron with his soccer-style kick. Balor goes to the top for a coup de grace, but the Miz crotches him on the top turnbuckle. Miz ends up hitting a big bulldog from the top rope. Miz covers, but Balor nails a huge coup de grace to the Miz's back and breaks up the pin. Balor hits a sling blade and a corner dropkick on the Miz. Typical Balor offense. Balor then goes to the top to hit the coup de grace, but Rollins breaks the pin up with a blackout curb stomp. And he curb stomps Balor's head into the Miz, who is laying flat on his back. Rollins waits in the corner and gets hyped up. And he hits another blackout curb stomp on the Miz, wins the title, and pins the Miz 1, 2, 3 for the Intercontinental Championship, man. I love that sequence when, especially with Balor and Rollins, because Balor's got that one well scouted. He does the superplex and then transitions that into the Falcon's Arrow. Balor always ends up rolling him up with a small package, man, because he's got that pretty much well timed. He knows that's coming. I love that sequence there, but I love that move, period, from Seth Rollins. I think that is a very, very pretty move to do the superplex and then roll into the Falcon Arrow. I think that's great. Seth Rollins winning the Intercontinental Championship, man. I'm not really going to complain too much about it. I've been stating that the Intercontinental Championship needs to be on a babyface, and Seth Rollins is exactly that. It makes me wonder, though, if they gave the Intercontinental Championship to Seth Rollins, about all the rumors about Seth Rollins being moved over to SmackDown Live to be the guy on that brand, and him taking the place of AJ Styles on that show and AJ moving over to Raw. With the outcomes of the matches tonight, it doesn't look like that is happening. Because the rumor is that WWE is going to be doing a shakeup or a draft at Backlash. And with the outcomes of these matches tonight, it looks like nothing's really going to change as far as Rollins and AJ Styles go. Maybe they end up moving Roman Reigns over to SmackDown Live. I don't fucking know. And Rollins is the number one guy on Monday Night Raw. We don't know. But Rollins won. Rollins certainly deserves it. You're not going to really hear any complaints out of me. I preferred Finn Balor because, I think Finn Balor, of all people, deserved it after going through what he went through. He never got a chance at the Universal Championship again. He was buried for a little bit on Monday Night Raw. He came back. He's been putting on quality matches. But then you got Seth Rollins, who, this year has probably been the best performer on Monday Night Raw, bar none. You go look at the gauntlet match that Seth Rollins was in, and he just fucking blew everybody out of the water. That alone, he deserves the Intercontinental Championship. But if this is going to be the direction they're going, I would love if WWE took a chance on Finn Balor and turned him heel. I would love to see an evil Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor could really do things as a heel. And if they want to experiment with that, I'm all for it. But as far as Seth Rollins winning the Intercontinental Championship, he's a babyface. They got that, and they got it on a guy who certainly deserves it. But I think the only reason why they did it is because it's the only title that Seth Rollins never had. And I wish WWE really didn't mention that, because it's kind of used as a crutch to get him the title and to make history at WrestleMania. I wish they didn't really tell anybody that. Finn Balor, to me, in my honest opinion, was the right guy. But they gave it to Seth Rollins for those reasons. A little bit of everything. It's the one title he never had. He certainly deserves it after the work and body of work that he showcased in 2018 so far. You really can't go wrong with either one of them. I thought Balor was the right guy, but it is what it is. The title's off the Miz. That's the most important thing we can look at here. The title's off the heel. It's on a babyface, and I think good things are coming for the Intercontinental Championship. Great opening match for WrestleMania 34. Seth Rollins is your new Intercontinental Champion. This is where I was completely disgusted. Completely disgusted. Asuka and Charlotte. Both of them had fantastic entrances. Charlotte had her father's old theme music playing. She came out. She was treated as fucking royalty. She was treated as a queen. She had, fucking knights in shining armor standing next to her, and she was wearing this beautiful gold outfit as if she was really a fucking queen of the land. And Asuka had masks. She had her Japanese masks just all over the place. I don't know if it was actually shit hanging from the ceiling or if it was fucking 3D images. It looked really fucking cool. And Asuka comes down the ring, comes down the ramp to the ring, doing her thing. The match itself was fucking fantastic. I am not taking anything away from Charlotte and Asuka at all. Up until the ending of this match, this lived up to every sense of the hype that was surrounding this match. This would have gone on to be probably the best women's match of the year so far. But we get to the ending. And I don't want to miss anything. I think Charlotte in this match actually did a shooting star press. I think, was it a shooting star press or did she did a 450? I think it was a shooting star press. No, she didn't do a shooting star press. She did the Spanish fly. It's fucking late, people. It's 1 a.m. Excuse me. She did a Spanish fly off the top rope. And I'm like, holy shit. Charlotte doing a top rope Spanish fly on Asuka. So you know people are pulling out all the stops because it's WrestleMania. And I can appreciate that. I love seeing things that you don't normally see added to a wrestler's repertoire. It's just fucking something that I appreciate. At the end of this thing, we have Flair hitting a natural selection. Flair goes for a pin. Asuka counters into a submission. They get tangled up on the mat. Asuka pulls back on the neck and shoulder to tighten the hold. I think she's got the triangle. She's got a triangle choke on. Flair counters and goes for a figure four, but Asuka resists. They get up. Asuka nails a kick to the head. Flair fights back. Asuka goes for the Asuka lock. Can't get it. Back and forth. Asuka kicks Flair in the head and screams right in Charlotte's face. Asuka charges, but Flair nails a spear for a close 2 count near fall. Flair then starts getting frustrated. Asuka kicks Flair, but Flair keeps going and gets the figure four applied. She bridges into the figure 8 with one arm. Apparently, there was a issue with Charlotte's left arm. She couldn't lay back all the way with the figure 8, so she did it with her right arm only. So the move was only, I guess, 75% applied. But Asuka tried to resist. She tries to fight free and ends up tapping out. Of all things, Asuka tapped out. And I'm sitting there, jaw dropped, shocked that Asuka is no longer unbeaten. No cash in from Carmella. Clean victory. Charlotte ends up tapping out Asuka. Now, I don't know how you guys feel. I think the consensus is a lot of people are 50-50 on this. Some people loved it. Some people fucking vehemently hated it. I'm one of those people that fucking vehemently hated it. I'm trying to look at the positive here, though. I really, really am. I'm trying to find some fucking ray of sunshine in this entire situation. Do I like it at this moment? Absolutely not. I think WWE, this is the worst booking decision that they could have possibly made all year. All year. Charlotte did not need to beat Asuka. Charlotte was already established. Charlotte's already a 6-time women's champion for Raw and SmackDown. She didn't need to take Asuka's streak. Asuka won the Royal Rumble. Asuka's been undefeated for 500 and some odd days. You know, she ran through everybody. The only thing Asuka had was her streak. And now Asuka has nothing. Now she has nothing. You know, people were complaining that WWE wouldn't be able to manage the streak and keep it entertaining for the rest of the year going into next year's WrestleMania. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Then why is daytime soap opera still a thing? Why is Days of Our Lives still on and on and on and on? General Hospital, same shit. You know, if you can't pen an undefeated streak for Asuka for the rest of the calendar year with her as champion, then maybe you shouldn't be in creative writing. Maybe you shouldn't be in creative writing. That's no excuse. That is no excuse. Okay? Some of our favorite sitcoms were on for 14, 15 fucking years. Married with Children had 14 fucking seasons. 15 seasons. And it was entertaining up until maybe the last season when it really didn't become any funny anymore. Family Guy's on 15 seasons. I watch Family Guy religiously. If you can't pen Asuka's undefeated streak for another year, on this show, then maybe you shouldn't be in the position that you're in. Asuka doesn't need to be on every show. She doesn't need to defend the title every show. She doesn't need to be on every pay-per-view. You had it easy this year. You had it easy. The brands were fusing the pay-per-views. You were having dual-branded pay-per-views. You didn't need Asuka to defend the title on every pay-per-view. You had an easy out. Why doesn't anybody think of these situations? Asuka has nothing now. It's like they ripped her cape off and now she's human. It's like Superman. You take his cape away, you take his powers away, who is he? You take Batman's batsuit away, you take his Batarang away, you take his fucking Batmobile away. What the fuck does he have? He has nothing. He has nothing. Asuka has nothing now. For who? Charlotte? Who was already established in this company as a multi-time champion? You know, the only thing I was thinking about is, well, they do it for Charlotte. Charlotte, royalty, Flair. McMahon loves his Charlotte Flair. You know, can't let the Japanese one get over because she doesn't speak English. Part of me wants to think it was a political move because they didn't think that Asuka was going to be a champion that they were going to really want for the rest of the year. But was it worth her losing now and becoming human like everybody else? She's just as bad as Mickie James and Sasha Banks and Bayley now. You took the one thing away from her that made her special. I don't give a fuck who found it boring. Make it entertaining. It's your job. Everybody was complaining to me that they liked it. Well, the ones that were complaining to me said that they liked it. It would have made her boring. People were complaining that Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey is the match that they would rather see. It's the more legitimate match. How can you honestly say that and believe the words that are coming out of your mouth? Are you fucking out of your mind? Really, are you that fucking stupid? How could you sit there and tell me Ronda Rousey and Charlotte is a better match than Asuka and Ronda Rousey? Did you see what Ronda Rousey did tonight? She blew everybody's expectations away. You expect her to stand toe-to-toe with Charlotte and mat wrestle her and wrestle her like Charlotte would wrestle a Sasha Banks? Or would you expect Asuka to be in there and take blow for blow what Ronda Rousey has to dish out? Think, people. The money was in the streak. The money was in the streak. Asuka, champion, undefeated against Rousey, fighting for the championship, undefeated, coming in from the MMA in her first year, challenging the biggest threat to the women's division in its history. If you can't find money in that, you shouldn't be watching this program. Charlotte is not a legitimate threat to Ronda Rousey. WWE, more than likely, is still, though they put it on the back burner for now, is probably setting up Charlotte and the Four Horsewomen versus Ronda Rousey and her Four Horsewomen. And it looks like they might be going with Charlotte and Ronda because that's just the political initiative, you know. They figure Charlotte's the biggest name. She's got the backing of everybody and the admiration of everybody, and Ronda Rousey is Ronda Rousey. Who the fuck is Asuka? Asuka's streak was just completely wasted for no reason. All the work that Triple H put into that streak. The extra year he kept Asuka down in NXT because he wanted that streak to remain alive. You roll into New Orleans, Vince McMahon gets you into New Orleans, and New Orleans is a city where fucking streaks die. Undertaker died in New Orleans, and now in 2018 we can add Asuka to the fucking obituary. Asuka streak dead at WrestleMania 34. Now I'm trying to look at positives here. I want to hope, but I have no faith in this company. I give them no fucking iota of hope or faith to do anything right. Just look at tonight's show. Biggest fucking WrestleMania potentially of all time, and they fucking ended up giving me sheer disappointment. I'm supposed to fucking put all my hopes and dreams in the fact that they build Asuka back up correctly? Now, what if Asuka ends up going undefeated for the remainder of the year? What if Asuka goes and gets back on track and she wins the title and we have Charlotte remaining champion on SmackDown Live and we get an eventual rematch, whether that happens at Survivor Series or, we get Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble and Asuka's a champion for whatever brand she's on at the time. Charlotte wins the Royal Rumble and we get Charlotte challenging Asuka for the championship again. And Asuka has a storyline right there with Charlotte because, she has not been given the opportunity to get that match again, to get her revenge and get even with Charlotte. Maybe we see this again at next year's WrestleMania. Or maybe we see it at Survivor Series. Maybe Asuka is the Raw Women's Champion by the time Survivor Series rolls around. Maybe Charlotte's still your SmackDown Live Women's Champion. We get the champion versus champion match, and Asuka gets her win back there. I don't know. Do you have it in WWE to do such a thing? I don't. Because the way I'm looking at it right now, I think Asuka is just completely dead. You took the one thing away from her that made her special and unique, and it's gone. It's gone. Did The Undertaker ever recover after losing the streak? I have a feeling Asuka's going to be the same way. Charlotte wins. She is still your SmackDown Live Women's Champion in an otherwise great match. The championship, looks good after tonight. It's just the fact that Asuka won the Royal Rumble and she should have been the winner of the match tonight, becoming the new champion. John Cena was sitting by ringside, and a referee goes up to John Cena and tells him something that we can't hear audibly. And John Cena jumps the barricade and runs to the locker room. He was sitting in the crowd legitimately drinking a beer with the fans. So they did play up that storyline throughout the entire night. Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship. Bobby Roode, Rusev, Jinder Mahal, and Randy Orton for the United States Championship. Boy, WWE really knows how to fucking stick it to you, man. It's like they got a voodoo doll and they want to just fucking stick needles in you, Just fucking making you sit in agonizing pain during WrestleMania. They got some balls, man. They follow up Asuka losing her streak with this fucking creative blunder. Jinder Mahal wins the United States Championship. Jinder Mahal is the new United States Champion. At this point, I'm like, can we deem this the worst WrestleMania of all time yet? I know the trolls are going crazy on Twitter, man. I can't wait to see JD's salty tears on his review, Anyway, man, it's just pathetic, and it's sad that Rusev was merely put into this match to get 80,000 people admiring him, wanting him to win. Ultimately, he was just there to eat the pinfall from Jinder Mahal. It is so terrible. It is absolutely so terrible, man. Jinder Mahal is mixing up with Rusev. Rusev hits a Machka kick. Jinder ducks another kick and rolls Rusev up for a 2 count. Rusev drops Jinder with a big kick. Fans chant. They start going wild, chanting Rusev Day. Rusev is looking like he's going to win the match. Rusev stomps Jinder and goes for the accolade, but we got Sunil Singh jumping on the apron. Here we go. More Singh chaos leading to a Jinder Mahal victory. Singh brother tries to interfere. He gets knocked off the apron. Jinder takes advantage of this from behind. He grabs Rusev for the Kalash, and he pins Jinder. Jinder does pin Rusev for the United States Championship. I don't believe that WWE legitimately went into New Orleans with the most over guy on SmackDown Live outside of Daniel Bryan, and you refuse to give him the United States Championship. People were chanting Rusev Day, 80,000 strong, during Aiden English's introduction of Rusev. I don't understand this, man. I made mention of this. WWE put Rusev in this match, according to PW Insider, because he was threatening to walk out. He asked for his release. And I find that to be every bit of true. And now, after tonight, I know it's true. Rusev was never in the plans to win the United States Championship. Rusev was never in any plans to be anywhere prominently featured on WrestleMania. This guy was supposed to be in the Battle Royal. He probably would have never even won that either. But the fact that he was placed in this match because he wanted to walk out, and ultimately they made the creative decision for Jinder Mahal to pin him, this guy's going to end up leaving. Whenever his contract is up, whether he asks for his release again and they grant his release, we're going to be seeing Rusev Club t-shirts. Sold at Hot Topic. We're going to see Rusev Club t-shirts next to fucking The Cleaner and the Young Bucks and Villain Club t-shirts. We're going to be seeing Rusev in Ring of Honor or New Japan. We're gonna be seeing Rusev succeed in WWE the way that the guy should be succeeding. And WWE had the one opportunity tonight to do right. Do right. There was only one man in this match that was an appropriate winner. It was not Randy Orton. Randy Orton is a fucking walking bottle of fucking NyQuil. And we got Bobby Roode, who is the opposite of where he should be right now. The guy should be a fucking dastardly prick-like heel, but he's shaking hands and fucking doing glorious all over the place. And then we got Jinder Mahal, who was the one guy who is the sole reason why SmackDown Live put on some of the worst television in 2017 and buried the WWE Championship along with it in a terrible title run. Jinder Mahal is the United States Champion literally 1 year too late. This should have been done following WrestleMania last year instead of him being given the WWE Championship. So I don't understand why WWE expects me to care now, 1 year later, that Jinder Mahal is the United States Champion. What they've pretty much done here is made the United States Championship on SmackDown Live worthless. Now, not only did they kill the main event scene in 2017 on SmackDown Live, now they're killing the mid-card on SmackDown Live in 2018. Ridiculous. Rusev should have won the United States Championship. WWE, from the last match into this match, I ain't having high hopes at all for WrestleMania at this point. Surprising to see Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon come on so early. This literally hit the 9 o'clock hour. I thought this would definitely be later on in the show. Not going to go over everything in this match, man, but I do want to hit on the high points here. Ronda Rousey looked fantastic. It's the first thing I want to say. She physically looked fantastic. Ronda tonight before tonight, she was being examined under the microscope very carefully. And we were critiquing her and everything she was doing wrong. Some of it rightfully so, some of it unfairly. But WWE threw Ronda Rousey out there with, this huge question mark looming over her head. She was as if she was playing fucking the Riddler in Batman. We didn't know what the fuck she was doing. We didn't know what to expect with the Riddler, Or Ronda Rousey, the Riddler. Jesus Christ. We didn't know what to expect with Ronda Rousey, not the Riddler. I'm not talking about fucking Batman. I got Jim Carrey in my head playing fucking the Riddler, Ronda Rousey tonight, in every sense of the word, was worth every dime WWE paid her for tonight's show. She was great. She was actually some of the best parts of WrestleMania all night. Her intensity was, bar none, some of the most legitimate shit you'll see from anybody on that roster. Her facial expressions were on point. The instance where she tied up with Triple H and she mingled with Triple H for a little bit, she started punching Triple H. I don't really know how stiff the punches were. I mean, they looked fine to me from where I was sitting, but at this point I'm coming off a Jinder Mahal title win and Asuka losing the streak, so my mind ain't really focused on every aspect of the show at this point, but it looked great. It looked great. And it legitimized Ronda to the point where, she was not afraid to mingle it up with Triple H, who is fucking Triple H, It looked great. I didn't really care for Kurt Angle too much at all. He didn't really do anything in this match that blew me away. Angle clearly showing his age. Triple H looks fucking fantastic at 48 years old, he had the big entrance with Stephanie on the motorcycles. It was, the same old song and dance with Triple H. But this was actually one of the best mixed tag team matches I think I've ever seen. And I'm not big on mixed tag team matches, man. I'm not. I think Stephanie played her role really well. I think Stephanie played the antagonist here really well. She got under Ronda's skin very well. She was a good partner to play opposite of Ronda Rousey, to get Ronda where she needed to be, to get Ronda in Ronda mode. I'm not a big fan of mixed tag team matches, but this one was a mixed tag team match done well. You know, it broke down for the majority of the match. It became more of a spectacle than it did a legitimate wrestling tag team match. But that's what people were paying for. They were paying to see the spectacle that is Ronda Rousey mix it up in the WWE for the first time. And on every level of that, it delivered. It delivered. You know, for the first time tonight, I didn't expect anything out of this match to begin with. I didn't. I wasn't intrigued by the build. I wasn't interested in what they were trying to sell. I was merely sold on the spectacle of seeing Ronda Rousey perform in the WWE. And on every aspect of that, it delivered. I was entertained. I put the phone down. I shut off Twitter. And I sat down with a beer and I watched. And I wanted to be entertained. WWE entertained me. And that's all I could ask for out of this match. This was WrestleMania. This was the entertainment aspect that is WrestleMania. And it delivered in the entertainment department 100%. Now, the only thing that I would have changed is the ending. The only thing I would have changed in the ending here is the ending. Angle gets sent into the steel ring post by Triple H. Stephanie sends Rousey into the other ring post. Triple H and Stephanie are hurting at this point, and they stand tall and look ready to finish both Angle and Rousey. They were going for dual pedigrees. They wanted to go for dual pedigrees. Angle drops Triple H over the top rope. Rousey counters Stephanie and drops her into an armbar. Stephanie screams out and fights, and Rousey repositions her, starts talking trash back to Stephanie. Stephanie continues to scream, no, 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 please, please, please. Don't do it, I'm sorry. Rousey pulls back and drops the arm as Stephanie screams out in pain, and Stephanie immediately taps out for the victory. Stephanie played the role well, like I said. Some of it was a little bit too unbelievable to me because I think Stephanie put up too much of a fight against Ronda. You know, when someone like Stephanie McMahon is in a armbar like she was with Ronda Rousey, you know, I don't see or envision Stephanie McMahon having the strength to withstand somebody who has legitimate MMA background like Ronda Rousey. You know, Ronda could break her arm in any position, no matter if Stephanie's trying to counter it or block it in any which way. You know, but they played up the fact that Stephanie was trying to derail Ronda and counter Ronda and stay on and hold on for as long as she can. Ronda could have broke her arm at any fucking given point. That was the one downfall of this match. You know, when Ronda got her submission holds on Stephanie, it was a little bit too unbelievable. Because Ronda at any given moment could have bent that arm back, fucking broke that lock, and boom, done. I wanted to see Ronda tap out Triple H. That's the ending I thought they were going with. Because we already seen Ronda get her hands on Stephanie McMahon on Monday Night Raw. They already gave that away. We were paying to see Ronda get her hands on Stephanie McMahon. I would have loved to see Ronda tap out Triple H. And I thought that was the ending that was coming because at one point in this match, Ronda did get an armbar on Triple H. And again, it was unbelievable. I mean, I don't understand how... Listen, I wouldn't want to fuck with Ronda Rousey at all. But the fact that Triple H is a 15-time world champion and, you know, he can't lift poor little Ronda Rousey up in this armbar and break out of this hold, a little bit too unbelievable to me, man. Again, it was sold on the spectacle of getting Ronda over, and that's exactly what they did. People ate it up. People were excited. She was worth every fucking dime tonight. Ronda has massive potential in the ring. I think she's going to be very good if she can work on her microphone and promo ability. Ronda Rousey is going to be every bit of a success that we want her to be. She did fantastic tonight, man. She may actually end up getting the MVP of WrestleMania. I was thoroughly pleased and very, very, very excited to see her succeed tonight. And I hope that remains moving forward. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle win. Stephanie taps out for the finish. You know, the announcers were playing up that Stephanie McMahon's arm was broken. I'm sure we'll see her come out in a fucking sling tomorrow night. I don't know if her arm is broken, but... You know, Ronda did have some war wounds. She was bruised on her leg, and, you know, Stephanie, you know, really sold the arm pretty well, so we'll see what happens. I didn't hear anything as of yet, but, again, it was sold on the spectacle, and it did its job. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle win in the mixed tag team match. This is where I was kind of disappointed, man. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Usos. Next to the Young Bucks, they're the best tag team in the world. The Usos coming in as SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions against the Bludgeon Brothers and the New Day. This match was merely used as a buffer. Everybody was so hot for the mixed tag team match, and then they put this triple threat match after that tag team match, which I don't think anybody really expected to be as good as it was. Nobody expected the tag team match to be as good as it was. And they used this triple threat match for the tag team titles of SmackDown Live as a fucking come down match, you know? And it was very disappointing, man, because this match ended in literally 5 minutes. 5 minutes. The Usos made a point of being on WrestleMania this year after 9 years of being delegated to the pre-show. And then they get 5 minutes on the main card in 2018. This is the best you got for the Usos, who made a big deal about finally making WrestleMania's main card. The New Day came out, man. Their entrance was actually longer than the fucking match, which was kind of pathetic. But their entrance was so cringe. They came out with midgets dressed in pancake suits who were doing Scotty 2 Hotty's worm. It was actually pathetic, man. You know, when you're watching WrestleMania with your casual friends who really haven't watched WrestleMania all year and then they see this shit, this is the shit that embarrasses you in front of your friends because you're a wrestling fan. Seriously. New Day, Bludgeon Brothers, and the Usos, man, it didn't do anything for me at all. There was really nothing about this match that I could really sit down and break down. Luke Harper with a big sit-out powerbomb off the top rope to Kofi Kingston with the help from Eric Rowan, and the double team move proves to be successful. The Bludgeon Brothers win the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships to little to no ovation whatsoever because everybody was so high with the Ronda match, and then they were brought down so much with this tag team match, you know? And I hope that these guys have a decent run with the titles, because where Luke Harper and Eric Rowan have been, they've seen the depths of Titus Catering. They've been at the catering table for quite some time. Luke Harper got fucked last year as far as being in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 33, which he should have been for the WWE title. Now he's tag team champion again with Eric Rowan, and I hope that these guys get some run with the titles because they deserve it. Now, yes, I know that they are lacking charisma, but they're a big tag team. You know, we all enjoy the work of the Authors of Pain. Just envision them as a big tag team. You know, they're a big man tag team. They're not supposed to have charisma. They're supposed to go out there and beat the shit out of everybody, have fun, and leave. So hopefully we get something as far as a competitive reign from the Bludgeon Brothers. But I was very disappointed that this match, of all matches, was used as a buffer match, as a come-down match from the mixed tag team match. I didn't like it, man. You know? Usos certainly deserve better, and I think the Bludgeon Brothers do as well. New tag team champions. John Cena. John Cena is excited because the referee told him that The Undertaker is here. That The Undertaker is here. So, John Cena's in the ring, and then another referee comes out. You know, John Cena was sitting in the crowd the entire night. And another referee tells him that, listen, Undertaker's not here. He's not coming out. So he's arguing with the referee. I was told by somebody else that he's here. What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden, Elias comes out, and I mark out because I think this is a great spot for Elias. Elias comes playing his guitar, and, you know, he's like, did you guys expect somebody else? And he's going off about how he has more charisma than the guy you were expecting, and he's got more heart and soul than the guy that you were expecting, and this is his moment. You know, and that New Orleans is a shit town with a bunch of losers. And Elias gets in the ring and starts trash-talking John Cena. You know, Elias is pretty much telling John Cena to do what he does best. Go watch the show in the crowd like a spectator. Elias says he's here to make history. So he starts performing a song and takes shots at John Cena. Cena then ends up beating up Elias with the 5 moves of doom, and then tosses Elias out of the ring. So there you go, Mr. Elias. There's your WrestleMania moment. Vince McMahon canceled a segment with The Rock with Elias for this. Some WrestleMania moment planned for Elias. He wasn't in the Battle Royal. I wonder why. Now, after seeing this, I wonder why he wasn't in the Battle Royal. And this is what they had planned for Elias. This was a big, elaborate plan for Elias. To take the 5 moves of doom and then get embarrassed by John Cena in front of 80,000 people. So John Cena starts walking up to the ramp because he figures the Undertaker's not showing up. Elias is here. I just wasted my fucking time. I'm going to go back and watch the show like I had planned to do before the night started. All of a sudden, the arena goes dark. They spot a spotlight in the middle of the ring. You see the Undertaker and you see the Undertaker's hat and his jacket and his gloves laying in the middle of the ring as it was sitting in the ring last year when he lost to Roman Reigns. Blue lightning, or purple lightning, I guess, strikes the ring. Strikes the memorabilia of The Undertaker. Goes up in smoke. Spotlight shines back on in the middle of the ring. It's gone. Some fucking black magic apparently happening in New Orleans. You know? Some voodoo magic. So then all of a sudden, we get smoke coming up from behind Cena on the stage. And The Undertaker's toll, the bell tolls, starts hitting. And The Undertaker is walking down the ramp. Cena cannot believe it. Cena goes back to the ring, and he's just standing there fucking shocked that The Undertaker finally came out. 3 months of storyline. Undertaker's been dead silent. He's finally in the ring, and he sees the guy he's been calling out all these weeks walking down the ring, and he looks fantastic. Undertaker always looks fantastic. Walks down the ring. He gets the big elaborate WrestleMania entrance. And we get a match. We get an impromptu match. It was not on the card. It was not advertised. We get an impromptu match. There's a referee in the ring, and I'm like, holy shit, we're getting a fucking match. Undertaker, Cena, it's finally happening at WrestleMania. Match didn't last 5 minutes. The match was a complete fucking squash. Undertaker did everything in his arsenal. He did the snake eyes, he did the big boot, he did the leg drop, he did old school, he did a choke slam, he did a tombstone, and it was all over. That was it. All Cena did was get Undertaker flat on his back with a shoulder tackle. He was about to do the 5-knuckle shuffle. Undertaker sits up, scares John Cena, choke slam, tombstone, and it's all over. Literally, that is the entire match. Literally, that was the entire match. We wasted 3 months for that. I don't want to sit here and shit all over it. I don't. I want to be somewhat positive from what we've seen. Some people are saying this match ended up being exactly what it needed to be. I could see why you say that. You know, some people are saying they commend John Cena for doing the job and the deed for The Undertaker. I could see that, and I respect that wholeheartedly. Some people are saying that The Undertaker needed to go out this way. Maybe he didn't get surgery and they only gave him, this type of spot to get what he needed to get done and move on. Create a moment. Present The Undertaker in the best possible light. As long as you got him. As long as he's able to do what he can do. And that's it. Present him in the best possible light that you can. I expected, selfishly, I expected a 20-minute match. I expected a 20-minute match with The Undertaker and John Cena. Now, I don't know how well it would have ended up being a 20-minute match, but I expected something longer than what we got. Now, I don't know what we're going to get tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what John Cena's going to say. I don't know where they could go from here. I hope to God this is not a setup for another match at WrestleMania 35. I didn't want to see what we seen tonight. Whatever we seen tonight is not going to make me interested in seeing something at WrestleMania 35 next year. I hope it's over. There's nothing left for The Undertaker. When The Undertaker was walking away and he did his signature pose on the top of the ramp, I legitimately looked at my brother and I said, I'm done with this. The Undertaker doesn't need to be here anymore. They don't need to build the WrestleMania card around The Undertaker anymore. If the streak was still intact, yes, fine. I would do everything in my power to keep that going for as long as I can. But the fact that The Undertaker now is a shell of his former self and we're getting 5-minute matches with John Cena at WrestleMania, I think it's about time The Undertaker calls it quits. This really didn't do anything for me whatsoever, man. People saying this is a moment. What moment? How is this a WrestleMania moment? You've seen 21 other victories from The Undertaker at a WrestleMania. He has 21 other moments. Now this is a moment? Because he beat John Cena in a squash match at WrestleMania? What makes this different than every other fucking tombstone and chokeslam he did? Why don't you get off your high horse and fucking realize that this is not a moment anymore? We want new moments with people who haven't experienced those moments yet. For someone like me, at my age, watching this shit for as long as I have, this is not a moment anymore. It's a moment for the people who are in attendance who've never seen The Undertaker live. It's a moment for them. For us watching at home who have to sit and watch this fucking shit, it's not a moment anymore. So you can see why I'm pissed off and frustrated that we got a 5-minute fucking match with The Undertaker and John Cena at WrestleMania when we got 3 months of build with no Undertaker, and this is what we get. So it's very difficult for me to sit here and say, yeah, it ended up being exactly what it needed to do. No. I am disappointed. I am disappointed we didn't get the once-in-a-lifetime match that we never got at WrestleMania. And then when we get it, it's 5 fucking minutes. Come on, dude. Undertaker wins with a tombstone in the middle of the ring. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I was expecting this match to be every bit of physical that we've seen Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do on SmackDown Live. Again, you know, WWE, I feel, and I mean this wholeheartedly, man, I honestly feel that Vince McMahon sabotaged most of these matches because of his own political agenda. This match was not what I expected it to be. This match was Daniel Bryan laying on the outside for 12 minutes, you know, being attended to by medical staff, being teased about being rolled out on a stretcher while Shane McMahon and his diverticulosis or diverticulitis, whatever the fuck he's got, and his hernia took on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens by himself while they did whatever with Daniel Bryan. You know, they pretended to make this, you know, the Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon team against, you know, these two goons on SmackDown Live who were fired, and they tried to stack the deck against Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Seriously. And they tried to tease that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were going to get their jobs back. Daniel Bryan sat out for anywhere between 12 and 15 minutes on the outside, and it was exactly what Daniel Bryan didn't want to do in this match. There were reports coming that Daniel Bryan was offered this match before he was cleared, and this is exactly how they wanted it to play out. They wanted him to pretty much have a non-factor in this match while Shane McMahon did the majority of the work. And that's exactly what we got for the first half of this match. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. Daniel Bryan's entrance was really fun. It was like Metal Gear Solid-esque, like a target, you know, following the entire Yes movement from, you know, every which way and every location throughout the years, and it finally landed back in New Orleans at the Superdome. But Daniel Bryan was taken out with a pop-up powerbomb on the outside on the apron, and he was being attended to by doctors while Shane McMahon was being beaten by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan makes his way back to the ring, and he climbs up on the apron, and he gets into the corner, and he's standing there just fucking visibly defeated. He looks like he's completely out of it. So we got Owens doing a big frog splash on Shane McMahon. I love Kevin Owens' frog splash, man. That bullfrog splash, beautiful. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that shit. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are surprised that Daniel Bryan reached the apron. They're like, what the fuck's this guy doing on the apron? So the fans are chanting his name. Owen misses a corner cannonball. Shane McMahon then goes and crawls over to Daniel Bryan and makes the hot tag. He makes the tag. And we got Daniel Bryan coming in against Sami Zayn, and it was an epic stare down. Bryan is just standing there with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's getting all fucking flustered. They go at it. He unloads on Sami Zayn. Bryan, with more offense, fans go wild. Baseball slide to Owens as he's on the outside. Bryan with knees on the floor to Owens. A jumping knee off the apron. Bryan goes back in the ring, and he goes to the top for a dropkick on Sami. Bryan ends up fighting Owens off as Sami waits in the corner. Bryan corner dropkicks to Sami and Owens over and over again like we've seen on SmackDown Live. Bryan then stares at Sami, hits another big corner dropkick, goes to the top and tosses Sami to the mat with a Hurricane Rana. So Daniel Bryan was in full effect, man. He really didn't have any restrictions. He was doing exactly what we normally see from Daniel Bryan. Sami ends up hitting the haluva kick on Bryan, but he kicks out. Daniel Bryan got hit with the haluva kick, and he got knocked out. Sami goes for the cover. He kicks out. Owens gets the tag, knocks Shane back into the barrier, and they continue their 2-on-1 assault on Daniel Bryan. Owen yells at Bryan to stay retired. I laughed. Bryan kicks him, fights him back. Owen catches Bryan with a pop-up powerbomb. Bryan kicks out. So Bryan kicked out of the haluva kick, and Bryan kicked out of the pop-up powerbomb. Sami tags in. Shane's on the apron. Again, Owens takes care of him. Shane pulls the rope down, and Owens then hits the floor. Shane launches himself out to Owens. Sami then is on Bryan, talks some trash. Sami beats up on Bryan, starts yelling at him some more. Bryan then is delivering the yes kicks, and they were every bit of the yes kicks that we remembered, man. Loud, and the people were fucking chanting along, and 80,000 strong chanting in unison, yes, yes, yes. It's a beautiful fucking sight, man. So Bryan waits in the corner, and he's doing what he usually does. He does the slow yes build up, and 80,000 people doing yes chants. He applies the big running knee, then the yes lock, and Sami Zayn taps out. And that was it, man. That was it. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are no longer on SmackDown Live. They are completely and utterly terminated. There was no heel turn, as reported. No heel turn by Shane McMahon on Daniel Bryan. It was a very heartfelt moment. Daniel Bryan, after the match, went to go kiss Brie Bella, who was sitting right behind the commentary table. Shane went to go embrace his family. Daniel Bryan then came over to embrace Shane's family with him. They hugged, they embraced, and they walked out. And that was it. It was a heartfelt moment. Daniel Bryan's back. Daniel Bryan's back at WrestleMania, and he looked every bit as good as he did 3 years ago, man. You know? I was happy with it. But I didn't really like the first half of the match because they took Bryan out of it completely. And I don't know why they did that, but it ended up picking up the pace, and we got the heartfelt ending that we were expecting to get at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon win. And Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I don't know if they're going to show up on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. That's going to be one of the interesting aspects, being that they no longer have a job with SmackDown Live. The Raw Women's Championship, man. Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. This was fucking awful. This was every bit as awful as it was as I expected it to be, man. I told you this should have been pre-show. The sound of the crowd during the Sasha Banks-Bayley stare down was much more than what we got here. This was terrible. Nia Jax looked like fucking Mantar. Looks like she got inspiration from Mantar, man. She was wearing this gold awful outfit that did her no justice whatsoever. I actually prefer her in her normal ring attire, but they had to make her look good, right? They have to make her look like the irresistible force. Alexa Bliss gets a princess-like introduction. You know, she, the goddess, she comes down on this platform, and she's like standing there, and she got all this fucking lights and shit going off. So she gets the big entrance. This match did nothing for me, man. I don't even know what to say about this match. I really don't. It literally did nothing for me at all. Bliss ends up going off the top. She did hit a Twisted Bliss off the top rope to the outside. That was probably the best part of the match. Bliss, towards the end of this thing, gets up to the top. Nia Jax catches her in midair. Bliss goes down into the corner, but she was just trying to lure Nia Jax in for another cheap shot. Rakes the eyes. Jax keeps fighting out. Bliss goes to the eyes again. Bliss then gets slammed hard on the mat. Jax yells at Bliss. Starts yelling at her in the middle of the ring. Scoops her on her shoulders. Nia Jax walks up to the second rope and delivers a Super Samoan drop for the pin. Alexa Bliss rolls over twice. Nia Jax pins her and becomes the new Raw Women's Champion. Nia Jax is crying. You know, people are supposed to be sad and upset and happy for Nia Jax, and I'm there, you know, with my eyes rolling in the back of my head. Oh, is it over? Oh, good, it's over. Good. Nia Jax is the new Raw Women's Champion, if you care at this point. If you care. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, man. Oh, God, this was so fucking underwhelming, man. This was so underwhelming. I really don't even know what to think about it, man. So underwhelming. I truly believe, I truly think what I said in the beginning, man. I honestly think that Vince McMahon sabotaged this match by putting it on where he put it on, by placing it where he placed it on the card. And I honestly think that he did not allow these guys to go out there and do what they needed to do. And it's a damn shame. Because everybody in their right mind, man, every wrestling fan watching the show knew these guys were going to go in there at WrestleMania, at the Superdome, and tear that fucking building down. This is AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, a dream match that people have been asking for ever since AJ Styles came to the WWE, and ever since Shinsuke Nakamura made his debut on SmackDown Live. The taste of this match has been on everybody's fucking lips since WrestleMania last year. How these guys go into WrestleMania and don't deliver anything but a 4.5-star classic is just fucking mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling. The match never got off its feet. The match never got off its feet. It was slow. It was methodical. I was hoping that they were going to pick it up, and I thought they were going to pick it up. There was moments and glimpses of them picking it up. They had a nice story told in this match with the knee, and Nakamura's knee was the issue. AJ got the calf crusher on Nakamura for a pretty decent amount of time. And that hindered Nakamura from doing anything knee-related, any knee strikes, any Kinshasas. He could barely walk on it. He wasn't at his full strength. Nakamura's main offense is his legs. And that was the story in this match. AJ hit a phenomenal forearm for a very close near fall. That could have ended it. AJ got the calf crusher on him. Nakamura didn't tap out. Nakamura got in some offense as well. He got those knee strikes, his patented knee to the back of the head. He got those MMA-style knee strikes while AJ was down on the mat. They literally, I swear to you, they did nothing outside of what we normally see. They didn't take it to the next level. We didn't see anything out of the ordinary from Nakamura or Styles. It was basically, honestly, you want the truth about this match? This match was a SmackDown Live main event level match. It was not a pay-per-view. Whatever these guys did in the ring tonight was not a pay-per-view worthy match. It was not. And I just genuinely don't understand how that could be. I really don't understand that. AJ and Nakamura trade several shots. They were trading legit shots back and forth. It was a very stiff match. It wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but they were trading stiff shots in the ring. Nakamura looked to be completely out on his feet. AJ was delivering some stiff fucking elbows to him. Keeps fighting. AJ continues to unload. Hits a Pele kick just to stop the back and forth. Nakamura charges with a knee to the back. It was pretty much a Kinshasa to the back of his head. AJ kicks out at 2. Nakamura drives the hard knees into AJ's gut. AJ was on his stomach flat, driving those MMA style knees into the rib cage. Nakamura smacks or pats AJ on the head, trying to taunt him. Nakamura hits the reverse exploder. Nakamura then readies for a Kinshasa, and this is where the match ended. He was going for the Kinshasa, and he charges AJ. AJ blocks the Kinshasa mid-stride, counters it into a Styles Clash, and he muscles Nakamura up, delivers the Styles Clash, and he pins Nakamura in the middle of the ring. So not only did this match not get off the ground, and we didn't see anything out of the ordinary from these two, which we should have because it's WrestleMania, but it ended in the most anticlimactic ending possible. It felt like the match could have went another 20 minutes. It felt like the match needed to go another 20 minutes. And I don't know why WWE, and Vince McMahon shortchanged these guys when everybody was expecting to see this match burn the fucking building down. So what does WWE do? They give us a half-ass match that I'm sure we're going to get a rematch for. And WWE has a tendency to, especially with matches that we see for the first time, that these matches are nothing but build-ups to the next match. That's not how you do things. That is not how you do things. I fucking hate that. It's like you're asking these guys to go out there and not give 100%. Like you want to give the fans half of what we've been wanting all year, and then you're going to get the full product later on down the line. It's like these two guys were Call of Duty every year. It's like these two guys were Call of Duty for 2018. You get a fucking game that's 40% done, and then you're going to get the full product right before the next game comes out. So what does this mean? We're going to get the full storyline before the next match, and then when the next match comes out, that's when we're going to get the match? We're going to get the match when Roman Reigns is not on the card so they don't steal the thunder from Mr. Roman Reigns? You know I'm right. You know exactly I'm right and what I'm talking about. That's ridiculous, man. WWE has a tendency to give us these matches half-assed as they're nothing but building blocks to the next match. This is fucking WrestleMania and you're shortchanging me on an AJ Styles Nakamura match? Something is fucked up mentally with this company, man. I don't know how you're going to put those two guys out there on this show, on this night, and not give me a 5-star match. I don't know how you're not going to position this match better on the card. Crowd was dead for half this match. Shame on WWE and shame on Vince McMahon. They should be fucking embarrassed when they lay their heads down to sleep tonight. At the end of the match, Nakamura takes the title from the referee's hands, gets on his knees as if he's proposing to AJ Styles and presents him the title if he's like some fucking king of the fucking, the castle. AJ embraces Nakamura, and Nakamura all of a sudden delivers a low blow to AJ Styles and starts kicking him while he's down. People booing Nakamura out of the building. Nakamura kicks AJ Styles out of the ring. He jumps out of the ring, runs up the ramp, runs back down the ramp, and delivers a Kinshasa to AJ Styles. So of all fucking people, on this night, you want to give me a half-ass match, and then you want to turn Nakamura heel? Now, before I shit all over this, I'm going to give it a chance. Because this could be good for Nakamura. Evil Nakamura and a Nakamura who delivers promos in a heel-like fashion could be very good. We'll have to see and wait. We have to wait and see what happens. But it's like WWE takes everybody that is wildly successful coming up from NXT, and when they hit the main roster, they feel like they have to experiment in some way. You want to turn Nakamura heel, of all fucking people. But Roman Reigns has been babyface, quote unquote, for the last 4 years. How are you going to turn Nakamura heel in 1 year, but we've been waiting for 4 years to turn Roman Reigns heel? And 13 years to turn John Cena heel? This company, I genuinely don't know what type of drugs they were fucking taking during these creative meetings for this show. But I would love to be a fly on the wall to see exactly what they were doing. And what they were discussing and what they were talking about. Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Nakamura is now a heel on SmackDown Live. I have to see how this is going to end up failing. Raw Tag Team Championship match. Braun Strowman and a mystery partner versus The Bar. This is where I just wanted to legitimately shut the fucking show off, man. I actually had people text me. I wish I could show you the texts, but my phone is dying. People legitimately were telling me that they were shutting the show off. I was hoping that Braun Strowman coming on and this tag team match coming on after the WWE Championship match, that they had some big, huge, fucking planned partner for Braun Strowman. I was hoping, maybe we got the monster among men and WWE enlisted the Animal, Batista, to be his partner. Or maybe we got Bobby Lashley coming back. Some big fucking surprise that's going to blow the roof off this place, right? Hulk Hogan, right? Got the Hulkster. The Bar make their way, and they're dancing with a bunch of Mardi Gras themed special characters and masks, right? They're on this big float, and my allergies are killing me. So we got the Bar dancing with these big Mardi Gras characters, and they make their way down to the ring. Braun Strowman comes out, and he scares off all the Mardi Gras characters. It was probably one of the funniest moments of the whole fucking show. They all go scattering around. They start running around scared. He pushes this float off the stage, and it's just destroyed. He shoves the whole fucking thing off the stage. Braun Strowman gets on the microphone and says, I guess you guys want to know who my tag team partner is. I waited specifically for this night at WrestleMania to tell you who my partner is. So he ends up saying it's not anyone in the back. So I'm like, okay, you got someone who is, not on the roster or hasn't signed a contract with the WWE yet. It's a big surprise. He then says, my tag team partner is going to be one of you. And he points to the crowd. I'm like, what? What the fuck is going on here? So we get Braun Strowman going into the crowd, and he's surveying the crowd, looking for a tag team partner. He's looking for a legitimate member of the audience to be his tag team partner. Now, he ends up choosing this guy, Nicholas, this little kid, Nicholas, right? Nicholas was 10 years old. He looked scared out of his fucking mind. I don't know if this was planned. I don't know if this guy was related to Braun Strowman in any way. But he ended up choosing a 10-year-old child. Mind you, on the way to choosing Nicholas, he walked by No Way Jose and he walked by several other NXT talent. The one guy that I pinpointed was No Way Jose because I seen his afro. So I'm looking at the TV and I'm asking myself, you walk by No Way Jose and you end up choosing Nicholas over No Way Jose? What the fuck does that tell you about No Way Jose? Future endeavored is what I fucking tell you. He ends up choosing Nicholas as his tag team partner. At this point, I was begging for the Big Show. Because I'm asking, what the fuck are they doing? Is this for real? My brother actually looked at me and says, is this fake? Like, is this fake? Are we in like alternate reality right now? This was fucking god awful. I don't give a fuck who this kid is. I don't give a shit where he's from. You paid money. You, watching me, if you went to the show, paid money to see the tag team titles switch hands to Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old child. How do you feel? How do you feel about seeing the bar buried at WrestleMania by Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old Nicholas? How do you like to see WWE shit all over the Raw Tag Team Championships and their division while you're at it? You think the division is dead now? This division is fucking dead and do not resuscitate. Gone. I don't give a fuck who you bring in. This division is fucking dead. These tag team titles are as worthless as the WCW title when David Arquette won the fucking title. This was that level cringe. How you could look at WWE and be pleased with this, you have to have some fucking rare mental deficiency. I don't know how Vince McMahon could be sitting back there and be pleased with what he did tonight during this match. Yet, this match went on after the WWE Championship match. This match took time away from AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Let that aspect of it sit in. I have never been more embarrassed in I don't even know how long watching wrestling than I was during this match. Oh, JD, why don't you just have a good time, man? The tag team titles for Monday Night Raw was won by a 10-year-old child who was plucked out of the audience. Embarrassing, pathetic, awful. I can't even think of another word at this fucking hour to come up and describe this match. Absolutely ridiculous. WWE should be fucking ashamed that they put this shit on the TV. Braun Strowman and Nicholas are your new tag team champions. The bar double team Strowman. Sheamus tags in. Fans chant for Nicholas. The bar taunts the crowd. Cesaro tags in. More double teaming on Braun. He catches them with, a double cross body, double clothesline. Braun dumps Sheamus onto the ring post and down to the floor. It looked like Sheamus legitimately fucking was just taken out of the match for real. Sheamus hits hard. Nicholas reaches for the ropes, makes the tag. Crowd goes crazy. Nicholas is more over than Roman Reigns. Let that one sit in. Let that aspect of it sit in. Nicholas is more over than Roman Reigns was at WrestleMania. A 10-year-old boy was more liked than Roman Reigns in New Orleans. Unreal. Nicholas reaches for the ropes. He gets tagged in. Braun tags the kid in. He looks terrified. The referee also looks scared for Nicholas's life. Braun tags right back in, catches Cesaro, leaping at him into a power slam. New tag team champions. Let me go vomit in the corner with the rest of the Roman Reigns fucking deposit from the previous weeks. Absolutely fucking embarrassing. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, man, to end this fucking review. Holy shit, I don't believe I sat here all this time and reviewed WrestleMania. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know when this is going up, but God bless you if you're still watching me. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, man. This was the most pathetic, utter, fucking embarrassing attempt I've ever seen for a WWE Championship match. This exactly was the way I expected it to be. Suplex, suplex, suplex. Brock Lesnar doing everything he can, throwing the kitchen sink at Roman Reigns. F5, F5, F5. I think there was legitimately 6 F5s in this match. 6 F5s in this match. Like, I can't even tell you how the fans shit all over this match. They were chanting CM Punk. They were chanting, "This is boring." They were chanting, "This is awful." And Brock Lesnar didn't look pleased whatsoever. Fans are chanting, "This is awful" at the end of this thing. Lesnar mounts Reigns with fucking forearm strikes legitimately and busts him open the same way he did Randy Orton. The point of his elbow fucking cut Roman Reigns legitimately. I'm wondering what the fuck happened. I see Roman Reigns covered in fucking blood all over the place. His entire face was red. At this point, I'm thinking he's going to win the fucking match. I mean, look at this shit. They got the color. They got fucking 7 F5s. They got fucking suplex after suplex after suplex. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm going to fucking vomit right there on my new couch. Reigns ends up bleeding. He shakes his head off as if he's coming out of the shower fucking looking to fucking dry his hair. Reigns ends up coming back out of nowhere, nailing 2 spears. And Lesnar kicks out at 2. Reigns is covered in blood. Lesnar comes right back up with another F5. 6 F5s it took to beat Roman Reigns. Meanwhile, all it took was 1 at SummerSlam. So what made the F5 that much weaker at WrestleMania compared to SummerSlam? What made Roman Reigns that much stronger from SummerSlam going into WrestleMania? You know, these are the unsolved mysteries that I would love to find out the answer to. Does anybody have the answer? Oh, I know what it is. It's Vince McMahon. It's Vince McMahon's cum. That's what's powering Roman Reigns. Superman's got his kryptonite. Vince McMahon has his fucking semen. Yeah, he must have that semen flowing through his fucking veins. F5 for the pin and the win. I'm legitimately fucking shocked at this point. Like, I literally sat there and I was speechless. I was actually fucking speechless that Roman Reigns lost this match. Now, I don't know if this was a late call, an audible. I don't know if this was planned. I don't know if Brock Lesnar has secretly signed a new deal with the WWE. I don't know if Brock Lesnar is going to drop the title to Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. I have no idea. WWE needed a cliffhanger going into Monday Night Raw. WWE, the worst outcome for this match, with the way the crowd reacted to this, would have been Roman Reigns winning the match, covered in blood, raising the Universal Championship up as the fireworks go off. They would have fucking completely shit all over this show. They shat on the match, and you didn't need them to fucking shit all over the ending. Whatever WWE did here, they are lucky they got out alive with the ending that they gave us. Seriously. This match could no way end the way that we all expected it to. They desperately needed something to happen. They desperately needed a cliffhanger going into WrestleMania. We got our cliffhanger. Roman Reigns is not getting another Universal Championship, man. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I really don't know. You know? Reigns may ask for one because, you know, he took everything that Brock Lesnar threw at him and it took 6 F5s to beat this fucking guy. They may grant him a title shot and Reigns may get the title tomorrow. We may actually get the heel turn for Paul Heyman on Brock Lesnar. And then Brock Lesnar could go back to the UFC. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, the cliffhanger is there for Monday Night Raw. That's all we can ask for. We legitimately have a storyline going into Monday Night Raw tomorrow. And WWE, by the skin of their fucking ass, pulled out a main event that was god-awful and pathetic and embarrassing, and WWE should be every bit of ashamed of it. But the right man won. The right man won. This main event should be used as a foundation and a catalyst for change. Listen to that audience. CM Punk. Boring. This is awful. Fans vehemently booing Roman Reigns at every twist and turn. You heard dead silence after every kick out of every F5. If any of this doesn't resonate with you, there's no saving you. All you seen tonight, and you still harp on I bitch about Roman Reigns? Look at what you watched tonight. You're clearly watching the product of WWE trying to get this guy over, and legitimately, the most hardcore of fans do not want this guy. The lifelong fans of this company do not want this guy. What are you trying to accomplish? You accomplished nothing in 4 weeks of this build. The suspensions, the beating up of the U.S. Marshals, the handcuffing and the beatdowns, the superhero-like attitude for Roman Reigns sticking up for everybody, it all failed. As I knew it would. I knew it would go into WrestleMania and everything you see for 4 weeks would be completely fucking worthless, as if it was a fucking mirage in the sweltering heat of the fucking desert. You wasted your time watching Monday Night Raw to see that build. Oh, are they going to get Roman Reigns over? No. They weren't, they didn't, and they never will. This WrestleMania should be used as a fucking lifelong lesson. Listen to the fucking fans. They are the ones that guide you to quality television. With Roman Reigns leading this show, and with Roman Reigns continuously being pushed because you want him to be pushed against the fans' will, you are not going to have a show that people are going to want to watch anymore. The fans in New Orleans, I am proud of you for sticking up and saying what needed to be said. Hopefully, at some point, some of it resonates with Vince McMahon going into tomorrow. And I'm getting the hell out of here, man. That's your WrestleMania review. I hope you guys enjoyed everything I gave you tonight. I gave you the last bit of fucking energy I have, man. I'll be sleeping till fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. I can't breathe. I don't know if I'm getting sick again, but I'm exhausted. WrestleMania was a complete and utter disappointment tonight. It wasn't the worst WrestleMania of all time, but it was surely the most disappointing WrestleMania in the 34-year history of this event. I don't know how WWE has something like this so fucking structured with the matches that they had, and still it ends up embarrassing and failing at every given opportunity. I'm getting out of here, man. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys for Raw after Mania. No doubt. Pretty much looking forward to Raw more than I was WrestleMania, but I think we can all sit here in agreement and say NXT TakeOver New Orleans was the sheer number one clear-cut winner for WrestleMania weekend. Hopefully we get a good Raw tomorrow. Hopefully we have some surprises in store for us, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the official Raw After Mania review. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you to Sal Rex for the thumbnail. Thank you to @MikeWill87 on Twitter for the layout, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for, actually later tonight, because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the morning, for Monday Night Raw After Mania. I'll talk to you later.